Emma loved her walks by the lake. Every evening, she sat on the same wooden bench, watching the sun dip below the water. It was her safe space, a quiet corner of the world where she could process the storm raging inside her heart. 6 months earlier, her life had shattered. Her fiancé, Alex, called off their engagement just 2 weeks before the wedding. No explanation, no apology, just a cold, empty goodbye. The betrayal left her broken, questioning her worth and doubting whether she would ever trust again. One chilly autumn evening, Emma noticed someone new at the lake. A young man sat a few benches away, sketching furiously on a pad. His brown hair was messy, and his jacket was speckled with charcoal smudges. She tried to ignore him, but the soft sound of his pencil scratching the paper caught her attention. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he suddenly said, looking up from his sketch. Emma hesitated before nodding. "Yes, peaceful. I try to draw it, but I can never get it quite right," he said, holding up his sketch pad. It was a rough drawing of the lake, with the sunset shimmering on the water. "It's nice," Emma said politely, turning back to the horizon. She wasn't ready for small talk, especially not with a stranger. But Noah, as she would later learn his name, wasn't easily discouraged. Each evening, he returned to the lake, sitting a little closer, sketching, and occasionally tossing her a comment or a question. At first, Emma answered with short, guarded replies, but over time, his warm smile and gentle demeanor began to wear down her defenses. One evening, as they sat in companionable silence, Noah spoke again. "Do you ever feel like life's a puzzle, and someone stole the most important piece?" Emma froze, the words hitting too close to home. After a moment, she said, "I used to think I had the whole puzzle, and then it fell apart." Noah looked at her, his expression serious for the first time. "What happened?" And so, Emma told him everything about Alex, the broken engagement, and the months of pain and isolation that followed. Tears welled up as she spoke, but Noah listened without interrupting, his quiet understanding giving her the strength to continue. "I don't know if I can ever trust anyone again," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Noah nodded. "I get it. 2 years ago, I lost my brother in a car accident. He was my best friend, my anchor. For a long time, I thought I'd never feel whole again." Emma looked at him in surprise. "How did you get through it?" He smiled sadly. "I didn't, at first. I hid. But one day, I picked up a pencil and started sketching. I didn't know what I was drawing or why. But it felt like the only way to let the pain out. It didn't fix everything, but it helped me keep going." Their shared vulnerability created a bond neither of them had expected. Over the weeks, their conversations grew deeper, their laughter more frequent. But Emma still carried the weight of her heartbreak. One stormy evening, Noah didn't show up. The rain lashed against the lake, and the bench felt emptier than it had in months. Worried, Emma decided to check on him. She found his small apartment downtown, the address scribbled on a sketch he had once given her. When she knocked, Noah opened the door, looking pale and unsteady. "Emma," he said, startled. "I was worried when you didn't come," she said, her voice tinged with concern. He sighed, stepping aside to let her in. "I've been feeling off all day. Thought it'd pass." As she helped him settle on the couch, Emma realized how much he had come to mean to her. He wasn't just someone who listened, he was someone who understood her pain because he had his own. The next morning, Noah was feeling better, and Emma stayed to make sure he ate something before heading to the lake together. As they sat on the bench, Noah handed her a new sketch. It was of the two of them sitting side by side, the sunset framing their silhouettes. "The lake's beautiful," he said, his voice soft, "but it's brighter when you're here." Emma felt a lump in her throat. For the first time in months, she saw a glimmer of hope, a possibility for something new. The pain of the past wasn't gone, but it no longer felt like a weight she had to carry alone. Moral of the story: life's pain may hurt deeply, but it often leads us to people and places that help us grow stronger together.